Hello there, my name is PolishLynx and welcome back to Seduce Me, the Otome. I hope I won't seem too annoyed to you, well, because what's the reason of me being annoyed? Somehow my PC, not laptop, PC, is not capable of seeing the DVD drive, and because of that I somehow can't manage to reinstall completely Windows. And well, whatever, maybe somehow I will succeed, but that will take even longer than I expected. Alright, then I remember demons had a conscience. They weren't heartless without reason. She could too be reasoned with. She seemed like a businesswoman. Wait.
What? You're wasting my time.
What about the deal, huh? Diana raised an eyebrow. I was afraid she wasn't one to listen. What if she was as ruthless as I imagined her to be?
I'm listening.
Oh crap. Wait, really? Was she willing to listen to me? She didn't drop me the piece of death, but she didn't let me out of her spell. Now was a good time as any to try reason. These memories are precious to me, but they are not worth me losing my life.
Of course.
Yeah, I mean, if I die, people will wonder and try to find explanations to why I died or where I disappeared to.
Then just hand over your memories.
What if I traded them to you instead? You seem like a reasonable businesswoman. A trade is better than forcing me to give in, right? This was insane. I didn't even know if she was willing to listen. She already had me hanging over a piece of death. The only thing I could hope for was her being forgiving enough to listen to reason.
Well, speak your terms. What do you want in exchange?
I let out a relieved sigh. She was willing to listen further. Well, what can you give me in return for them?
I'm a demon. I can give you anything within reason. Money, men, women, power. Name it. Just make it worth the price.
I have something in mind, but let's continue. She could really get me anything. My mind began to wonder, what did I want? Power. Or her. Her. I heard Diana stifle a laugh.
Me? Are you serious? What do you mean, me?
You don't know? I looked at Diana again. She was indeed scary, but she was gorgeous and somehow she interested me. More so than the boys. I mean you staying with me for a little while. I wanna get to know you and these rules you are talking about.
A human wanting to know more about a demon than the rules. You're really trying to step over your place. Especially if you'll be losing those memories in the end.
Oh. I'm serious. I'll give you my memories and energy if you stay just for a couple of days, a day even. It will be worth it.
Completely willingly?
Completely willingly.
And if you don't fulfill your end of the bargain?
Then you can feed me to your pit beast. Did that really slip out of my mouth? Was I really wanting to put my life back on the line again? If I meant keeping my memories for a little longer, then yeah. Diane looked to me, scanning my body with her eyes for any signs of false intent. I didn't have any, so Diana sighed and snapped her fingers again. The demon below me vanished and I was slowly lowered to the ground. I looked to Diana in surprise.
You are very lucky demon magic is so finicky.
What do you mean?
Why do you think demons make deals with humans like you?
I wasn't sure. Demons were still new to me. I had heard stories of people making deals with demons, and only ruin coming from it. Diana sighed.
It's one thing to take your memories or your energy. It's another for you to willingly give it. We get more for our effort if the one we make a deal with is willing. Think of it like sex. If I'm aroused and you're willing to open your legs for me, I'll get pleasure. I'll enjoy it. You might enjoy it. And it's done.
Okay.
But if you aren't willing and I force myself on you anyway, it's not so pleasurable for me. Even if I get what I want, it won't be as worth the effort.
That's true. Strangely, that made sense. It was very much like a business. If I had what they want, they could negotiate for it, or they could take it away anyway, but not without a fight. Were they all really business-oriented? My curiosity about demons grew as I realized what the deal I had made. So, we'll stay for a couple of days.
A day is enough.
Yeah, sure, fine. Why 1 day?
Yeah, sure, fine.
Yep.
Yes.
Then looked at me up and down once again. I felt a little naked all of a sudden under her gaze, but I ignored it as she shrugged.
Alright.
Diana kept her eyes on me, unsure what was going on from the look on her face.
So, what do you want to know? You're obviously curious about demons enough to make a deal with me.
My first thought shot to her, but then I remembered the boys. Not all of my questions were answered and I wanted to know everything. First of all, who exactly are you? Diana chuckled before crossing her arms.
You may refer to me as simply Diana. As I said before, I'm a succubus, and I intend to bring the boys back home.
Back home, what do you mean? Back to the demon world?
Precisely. They don't belong here, and it's imperative that they return.
Why?
Did they not tell you? They're runaway royals.
There was something about that. I couldn't believe my ears. What? They were your royalty? Why would they run away from your royalty? Diana simply smirked at my new surprised face.
Ah, so they didn't tell you. How unfortunate. You were in the presence of a demon prince and his noble brothers and you didn't even know.
Well, they mentioned that they had a huge mansion, so... you could somehow think that they might be someone important there. Alright. I felt myself unconsciously walk over and sit on my bed. They hid something gigantic from me. Why? Did they not trust me? Then again, it had only been a couple of days. Yet they helped me and were here for me regardless, acting like servants instead of noblemen. I gripped my head in frustration. What am I supposed to believe?
Believe whatever you wish. The confusion will fade away soon enough regardless.
I looked to Diana, who only gave me an almost somber look in return. She was serious about removing my memories, but she would keep her end of the deal until I learned all I could. Vet and I felt thrilled to have her. Maybe it was because she was succubus, I didn't know. I sighed and faced Diana. So, how did you get to the human world? How did the boys get here?
With the help of a human, in both of our cases. There's truly no need for details beyond that. Any human can cast a demon summoning spell. It's just a matter of what happens during the summoning and after where things get tricky.
What do you mean?
Well, if a human is willing, only part of their life force is taken from them, and they are given one chance to open a bridge between our worlds to allow the demon they desire to come through. The more demons come through, the more life force the spell takes. Luckily for the poor human that brought them here, the boys sacrificed some of their own powers to open the bridge instead of letting the spell feed solely on the human. The human lived, and the boys came through.
That almost made sense. Something in my mind clicked, but I couldn't clear it out to figure out what it was. I only know that to Diana. And you are the same.
Somewhat. However, I don't care to go into details about how I came here. You'll forget soon enough.
That's not part of the deal.
You wish to have me around for more information. I get to decide what information to give.
Cheater.
It's not cheating if it's not a broken rule.
I huffed and crossed my arms and legs. Diana was a game player and I didn't like her rules. However, they were the rules I had to accept in order to keep my memories a little while longer. I'd find a way to remember she wasn't going to win. Diana let out a small chuckle and ran a hand through her hair.
Well, I believe I should head to bed. If I'm to stay here, then I need some form of sleep.
I watched as Diana crossed through my room to the door and opened it. She turned to me with a small wink.
Have a good night. See you in the morning.
See ya! Before I could respond, she exited my room and closed the door behind her. I stared. It was like she was in control. I almost grit my teeth at the thought. She wasn't the master of the house. I was. I huffed and crawled back under the covers. How did my life get so complicated? What was going on with me? I must have had serious bad luck. I sighed and covered myself with my blankets, wanting tonight to end. I needed tomorrow to come. School would take my mind off of things. If school actually happened anyway. I woke that morning minutes before my alarm. I felt slightly groggy, but I didn't exactly feel bad. It was more of a physical exhaustion with a mind ready to take on the day. I stretched and quickly changed to my clothes before heading downstairs with my bag. As I reached the lobby, I stopped and sniffed the sudden new smell in the air. Breakfast? I continued my way to the dining room to see Diana laying out a plate covered with sliced fruit. On the table there were delicious smelling eggs, toast, bacon, ham, veggies, and juice. I felt my mouth salivate. But then I remembered that it was Diana serving breakfast and I shook my head. What are you doing?
Ah, you're up. Come. Breakfast. I didn't know what you liked, so I made everything I knew humans ate for this time of day.
Everything, okay. I walked over and scanned the table before giggling. Diana raised an eyebrow at me.
And what is so funny?
You didn't make everything breakfast related. You forgot a couple of things.
Like what?
Coffee, pancakes, waffles. Diana looked almost insulted before looking into the table and recounting the plates. I laughed harder, making her glare at me.
I haven't been in the human world long enough to know everything, alright? Unlike the boys, I know little to nothing about what you humans eat in your homes.
At the mention of the boys, I suddenly remembered them. They treated me like part of their family, caring for me and making sure I was okay beyond anything else. They were servants to me and I let them go. I let out a sigh at the memory. Little did I know that Diana stared at me the entire time. I shook my head and looked to the table, getting an empty plate and filling it with what I wanted before sitting and eating. Diana remained standing, watching me. I felt almost naked under her gaze, so I looked over, pausing my eating. Aren't you going to eat?
I already ate.
What did you eat?
You really wish to know?
Yes? I wanted to know more about demons. I wanted to know more about her. Oh, of course, I said yes. Diana stared in surprise at me before smirking a bit and reaching into her cleavage. I watched as she pulled out a small purple vial. She popped the cork and poured a mere couple sipfuls into her palm before recording the vial and placing it back in her dress. Diana closed her eyes and closed her hand. What was she doing? This was odd to watch, yet at the same time I was practically at the edge of my seat in curiosity. What was she going to do? Her hand started open almost like a blossoming flower and revealed a small peach-sized fruit. It was purple and had almost an enchanting smell to it that made my food seem almost disgusting. Devil fruit, right?
A plant from the abyssal plains. We call it a sweet flower. Would you like to try it?
Not a devil fruit? Yes. I nodded, staring at the fruit. It looked absolutely glorious and delectable. I couldn't resist grabbing onto the chance to try it. Diana nodded before cupping the fruit in both hands and pulling the purple flesh from the fruit, revealing a juicy blackish center. As if it was cut on the inside, Diana pulled out a perfect slice and handed it to me.
I must say, you may be the first human to try this fruit. You should consider yourself lucky.
I nodded, not pulling my eyes away from the fruit slice in my hand. It was juicy and its clear juice painted over my fingers. I somehow didn't care. I wanted to try it and savor it. I lifted the small slice to my lips and took a small bite. Feeling ecstasy run through my mouth, I almost couldn't fight back the moan that was erupting from my throat. It was sweet, yet it was slightly tart. It was the perfect combination, and at the same time, it felt so unnatural. I felt not only pleasure in my mouth, but my body began to feel energized and warm. All of that was from a small bite. I swallowed the bite full and let out a pleasure sigh, making Diana smirk slightly at me with a raised eyebrow. I couldn't lie to her about how it tasted. Delicious.
That it is. They're natively grown in my kingdom, so I have the pleasure of enjoying these every day.
You have a kingdom.
I do. The boys are not the only royals in the demon world, sweetie. I just so happen to be a princess.
I stared in surprise. She was really a princess. How? She looked so mature. She was more of a queen than a princess. Really? You're a princess? You seem more like a queen. For a split second I swore I saw Diana blush, but as she started to laugh I shook my head off the thought.
You flatter me, little girl. You best be careful. I may just take your flattery as an invitation to take your energy.
I shut my mouth, feeling a blush run across my own cheeks. I returned to eating the fruit, hearing her chuckle and eat the remainder of the fruit on her own. Surprisingly, I felt full just from that small slice. How could that be? The only explanation I had was that it was a demon fruit, so I mentally accepted it as just that. What I didn't expect was Diana leaning over and lifting my chin to look down at me.
Messy, aren't you?
I stared as Diana came closer and gently kissed my cheek by the corner of my lip, making me gasp slightly. What was she doing? Why was she kissing my cheek? I was red in the face already, and here she was taking advantage. Diana pulled away and slightly licked and poked her lips.
You had a little juice on the side of your lip. It was bothering me.
Okay. I ran my fingers over where she kissed me and felt my red face grow even hotter. Then I chuckled slightly to the side, making me almost glare at her. I didn't know if she was flirting with me or trying to embarrass me. Either way, she was winning. Eventually, my alarm started going off, reminding me to be ready for Naomi and Suzu. Right, school was a thing. I stood from my chair and grabbed my bag, walking out of the dining room.
And where are you going, might I ask?
I have to go to school.
Ah, I see.
I looked to Diana, feeling that she was up to something. She had her arms crossed, looking to me as if I owed her something. What?
Well, I don't exactly want you to leave this house with the memories you have. I'd be breaking the rules if I allowed that.
But we had a deal. You stay for a day, I keep memories until you leave. I still have to school to go to, so...
Then skip school and stay home.
What?
That, or I go with
Okay. What? Diana was crazy. To suggest going to my school was practically signing a death wish. Everyone would ask about her. What would I tell everyone? That's crazy.
I can't let you leave this house with those memories unless I'm with you. Rules are rules.
There was no such a rule. What rules?
The rules of the world, sweetie.
Rules of the world. What was she talking about? We'll find out in the next episode. See you then.